How would you like it if your boss offered you bereavement leave for your plants? How about if your boss offered you hangover leave? All part of these fantasy job perks that we're talking about tonight. There's a poll out. We wanted to talk to you about it. Welcome inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. It is Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. Great to be with you. Let us know where you're watching tonight. Felicia and Sean and I are all here. We're talking about that story. We've got Mitch Daniels, the soon-to-be retired president of Purdue, talking today about what is next in his career. We'll bring you a segment and talk about his best day as the president of Purdue. And Sean's here to talk about hopefully some cooler weather after the the rain and obviously the humidity we've been dealing with.
And
right?
it's been thick.
We had some big time rain today.
We sure did.
Now, look, I'm going to show you these stats. This is for the official site of Indianapolis. So just know there are other areas that get much more rain than this. But this is our wettest day in the city since March 22nd. We've only had 4 days this wet all year long. But look at some of these big time totals in the last 24 hours there along the Marion-Hancock County line. 4.5, almost 5 inches. So some huge totals. And as we go into Johnson-Morgan County. So this is well needed and one of Indy's wetter days we've had in a bit. Quiet radar compared to last night. And then talking about that muggy meter, it's still humid out there. It's not as oppressive as we had over the weekend or yesterday. And once we get toward the latter half of this week and then get into the weekend, my goodness, it is going to feel so nice. I'm telling you, we're going to be able to shut down the air conditioners. If you want, open the windows. Some fresh
air.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Okay.
Did you get caught in the rain today, Felicia, at all?
Yes, I did. Absolutely, I did. Especially when I didn't have my key card and nobody would let me into the station. I was locked out of the station in the rain.
Yeah.
Nothing personal. And the good thing,
Scott looked at the text and ignored it, along with the other coworkers.
you know, I was busy interviewing Mitch Daniels, so that was the reason I didn't
He was working. Okay.
But you found your key card, and we
There it is.
got you back in. So
Yes,
you're all good.
I still work here.
All right, so we'll get back to Sean in a moment, but we do want to talk about Mitch Daniels. What a career this guy has had. I mean, 73 years old. He worked under George W. Bush in the White House.
Okay.
In the Office of Management and Budget, and known as the Blade back in the day. Then he came here to Indiana, worked as an executive at Eli Lilly. Then, of course, he was two-term Indiana governor, and now is wrapping up 10 years on the Purdue West Lafayette campus. Told me today in this one-on-one interview that his favorite moment on the campus was this: 2018, when Purdue upset then undefeated and second-ranked Ohio State in West Lafayette. And here's why he really loved that day.
That was the time of Tyler Trent, if you remember that story. The incredibly courageous young man, in so many ways, personified what we want Purdue students to be: purposeful, courageous beyond words, as he was dying from cancer. But if you remember, he had predicted that win, predicted it on national television, and then, my goodness, it happened.
All right, so today I spent an hour with Mitch Daniels there on the West Lafayette campus. We talked about a range of things, including what will he do once he retires? Will he jump back into politics? Would he consider a run for Indiana governor again? There's some people that think he ought to throw his hat in the ring and take a run at the White House in 2024. Others just kind of wondering what he may be doing. So we're going to answer a lot of those questions tonight, Felicia, and take a look at Mitch Daniels' career. And coming up tomorrow, we're going to talk about a number of things. He's got some opinions about college sports. He's very interested in what he had to say and what he didn't say about former President Donald Trump. And so we're going to talk about that and the special session that just wrapped up. He had some things to say about the refund checks that Hoosiers are getting as well.
Well, I mean, first of all, when you just list his resume alone, it's like he went through, he was like, okay, what top job can I take next? He just started checking off top jobs. That's pretty impressive.
It is impressive. And I think those of us who sent kids to Purdue. I have two that went to and enjoyed IU, and a daughter who went to Purdue. Those of us who had kids at Purdue really appreciated what Daniels did in terms of freezing tuition for 10 years.
Yes.
I mean, with the cost of higher education going up and up and up, Purdue for 10 years froze tuition. So that was a big part of what Mitch Daniels' legacy will be there at Purdue. And they've got 50,000 students showing up in West Lafayette this fall, undergrad and the graduate students. That's a record at Purdue. So we're going to talk with Mitch about his career at Purdue and what is next. But yeah, he's a fascinating guy. And when you're in the room with him, you realize you are not the smartest guy in the room.
Wow.
This guy is brilliant, and he's a terrific public speaker. And so anyway, we'll talk.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Mitch coming up at 11 o'clock. Want to bring Sean in because you remember that Tyler Trent game. I mean, and how Purdue won, and Tyler, making his dream come true.
Yeah, I mean, he summed it up. Tyler is what you would want a Purdue student to be, right? And I mean, remember it like it was yesterday,
right?
And if you, Tom Rinaldi was there that night following Tyler. If you haven't seen that, basically it was kind of behind the scenes,
right?
Just very touching.
Yeah,
and I think President Daniels certainly summed it up pretty well.
Yeah. Tom Rinaldi, one of the great storytellers in sports TV. Did a great job with that story. You're absolutely right. So, all right, let's talk about these fantasy job perks. So you saw this story in this poll. Tell our viewers a little bit about that.
A girl can dream. So basically, they were polling workers to find out what are some things that they would like to see. And you mentioned one of them. Plant bereavement days, plant parenting days. And if you're a plant mom, okay, you want to be respected like the other moms out there. But I think this leans itself to the conversations that we've been having on this 10 o'clock show about younger people coming into the workforce and making interesting kind of demands.
Yeah.
One I did agree on there was pet parenting and pet bereavement days. I'll say.
Yeah, I think that's
not when you get a new puppy, although I can understand that.
Right.
But
if your dog or cat died and you needed a day to grieve and take care of the family.
Or other pet family animal, because we're all inclusive in 2022.
Yeah. So what pets have you had that you would need a
I
pet
haven't had
bereavement
anything
day?
else. I don't know, but some people are into like snakes and hamsters. I have no idea. I don't know if you love your fish that much. But it just
goldfish death bereavement day.
Yeah, I have had to go to work after having a dog pass away, and I was like, is there a day for this? It should be a day for this.
Yep.
It greatly impacts my
sure does.
family and my household.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so anyway, some of the other fantasy job perks, again, this was based on an article that Felicia said. Nearly a quarter in the poll voted for paid celebration recovery leave, otherwise known as hangover leave. Others wanted breakup leave, so if you break up with your boyfriend, your girlfriend,
another one.
I got to have a day off.
But that's a tough one, though, because it's like, okay, I don't think you need a day off if you guys been dating for a couple of weeks. I don't think you should get a day off. I don't, but who judges that? See, now you're kind of getting into the weeds.
All right. Do people need a day off for social media detox day?
Yes.
Do you need a leave? I need a social media detox.
Everyone should be a proponent of this because as journalists, we have to be on social media, and it makes it very hard to the lines get very blurred.
Yeah. So you're going to go in and ask your boss for a day off for social media detox?
Yes.
Or how about a whole month, a whole year?
Good point.
That would be nice.
How about leave for heartsick sports fans? So look, I mean, Sean would probably be able to, you know, if you're
On the tough days, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone has dragged themselves
Yeah.
to work after Super Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say the full word. After the big game,
Yeah.
everyone has had to drag themselves to work on that Monday.
Sean and I have worked together a long time, and when Louisville loses, oh, poor Sean. You do need a day.
I do handle them a little bit better than I used to, as my wife will let you know. But yeah, some of them, when you're invested, man, you're invested.
That's right.
And it hurts. It hurts.
And then you mentioned house plant bereavement leave, and then doom scrolling detox days. So what is doom scrolling what would that be? Just you're
I
looking
think
at bad news?
Not bad
on
That's
that?
news.
Is
what
that
I
it is?
think.
Which
Yeah,
is-
which we need that too.
Sure.
There's so much going on in the world. So I mean, you know, everybody's talking about self-care and mental health, but I guess that just kind of gets wrapped into your overall days. A lot of these things that we name.
Yeah.
But we just get so little
We
time
need to ask
here.
our bosses here, see how this is going to fly.
Yeah.
Let us know
But like
how that goes.
the average time in America that we're getting is 2 weeks, versus in Europe, a lot of
Yeah.
places it's a month.
Well, they take all of August off, don't
Yeah,
they?
it's a month.
All right, so Glenn says Felicia needs a puppy dog.
No, she doesn't.
Teresa says no days off for frivolous reasons. So Teresa's sort of with me on that. Joyce says that's what personal days are for.
Okay.
Teresa also left LOL, no breakup leave, LOL. Teresa also saying Felicia needs a puppy.
Uh-oh, here we go.
No, she
Here we go.
doesn't.
Here we go.
She's good. That's a lot
Tanya
of work.
saying, I wish I could have had a pet bereavement day for my starving fat cat back in 2020. So Tanya,
Starving
need to
fat
talk
cat.
about that.
Yeah.
Let's see, and Teresa also mentioning Tyler Trent, inspiring Purdue students. And so anyway, those are some of the other people checking in tonight. So, all right, so wake up weather tomorrow?
A lot different than today. Not
Yeah.
going to be wet. If you're heading out to the Indiana State Fair, if that's your day, we're going to be enjoying a little mist maybe, but I think overall a really nice day here. A little more
Nice.
sunshine, and it's just the start of a real pleasant stretch for us here.
Okay. Do we need a bereavement day for like all the humidity and the rain that we suffered through today, Felicia?
No, I guess we'll be okay. Oh, you need something for your house. If you're like doing housework, like renovations,
Yeah.
we have one of our team members is
Yeah.
out because she had to get her electricity fixed.
Right,
and
right.
so add that to the list. You need a house day, house
All right,
care day.
here we
I
go.
think bosses, generally speaking, want to work with you. And so if you're going
Yeah.
through something that's
If you,
serious,
if, you
I
work with,
think,
if you work with a good
Pause.
one, sure.
Yeah.
Depends on the boss. I think we all have all work jobs
Yeah,
where
well,
they try to give you grief.
they're like, hey, get in here.
Right? Right?
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us here for our streaming show at 10 o'clock. We'll all see you tonight at 11 over on 13. Good night.